Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another press day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, today we did a press day, again, because I'm pretty much doing my version of 531 at the moment. So, I want to get this out of the way so that people understand why they're banned. We have a long history of showing my structural limits on overhead pressing. I've done years of mobility work. Mobility work is useless. It doesn't do anything for anyone, and I am 100% proof of that. All criticism will be auto-banned, right? That's it. I'm not putting up with it. I don't have time for it. This is my classroom. This is my vlog. I got things to do. If you want to be critical and you don't appear to be a high-level coach who knows my history, you will lose your posting privileges. Go fuck yourself. Now, let's get over the training, because I need to train the press. It carries over to my closed grip bench so massively. And if I want to get my closed grip bench up to 405, I need it. And it needs to be a staple lift. So people's opinions on my range of motion are completely irrelevant. Okay? Completely irrelevant. So after we did the 170 for 3, and it was pretty hard, I decided to do 5x10 weighted chins, 5x10 press. Now the press went good. The weighted chins, I started running out of steam. Now people are aware that I strained both of my radial brachialis, or brachial radialis, whatever, doing that dead hang this weekend, which, by the way, for everyone calling me fat, go watch that dead hang. I'm shirtless. I have abs, guys, and I've got a shredded back. So drop that nonsense. Drop that nonsense too. You know better. You know that you're lying. So they were bothering me on the heavy press. Everything else was pain-free. So I'm hoping it's going to be good for benching come Monday. I'm going to keep doing soft tissue work on it. And it's doing quite a bit better, but it didn't like the last set of press. Got irritated, but it handled these okay. Surprisingly, chin-ups, perfect. Dips, perfect. And the fact that the chin-ups have no pain at all is great, because I was worried about that supine side when I deadlift, because tomorrow's deadlift day. And then next week I have to max deadlift. So on the chins, I ran out of steam pretty quick. I think the 4th set I only got 7, and then I went ahead and just went body weight on the last one. Overhead pressing with the 120 went okay. Ideally, we want to get the press up quick. I've had people say, hey, what are your numbers there? What are you aiming for? I'm not. You guys have seen me do 225 probably 15, 20 times in the past. Different points for singles. My best single is 227.5 on the overhead press. I'll catch that again and pass it, right? I'm not worried about it. Main thing is I just needed to get better, and I need the volume work, because that volume work here, this stuff is going to carry over to my closed grip bench. Going to carry over to it a lot. And I was doing a lot of pressing like this again back when I first hit that 350 closed grip bench the first time last year. So that's where I did kind of start to see that carryover, along with just tricep work in general, which again, we're going to do a lot of dips. People will look at this and be like, yeah, this is very 531-y. And I'm also going to need to do my other stuff. I'm going to start working some plyos back in. I've got a softer box on the way so that I don't risk getting hurt with that hard box. So I'm going to start doing some med balls and jumps and everything. So I'm going to jump and throw. And I'll start dragging my sled again soon. I'm not going to do the intense dragging I was doing. I'm going to do it for a little more distance just for cardio. And I'm not going to try to do it 7 days a week. It'll be a couple days a week. 2 to 3 at the most. But I'll start doing that here soon after this training phase, as I start acclimating to this training system. Again, the adjustment. And again, I've got a video coming out explaining why I'm doing this. I've got a very, very detailed video. It's going to be a couple weeks, but I've already made it. And it has to do with helping some of my clients, and it has to do with me telling you guys that if you don't run conjugate, this is the program you would want to run, this sort of template. So I want to run it for a while and get some practice in with it with some higher specificity. But I've got a really detailed answer, because some of my clients run this sort of programming. Most run conjugate. So again, everything is big. Everything is basic, kind of like your mom. And so that's what I did today. And I supersetted the chins with these to get the workout done quicker, right? So after each of the presses, I did my chins about 30 seconds later, right? So I just did them back to back, but it did make me start running out of steam. So on the last set of chins, I dropped the weight off and just did body weight and cranked out 12. The bicep pump was phenomenal though. My biceps were hurting. So my biceps are definitely limiting chins, and I'm going to rotate through week to week or workout to workout. Again, I didn't want to do a neutral grip. I was a little worried about the radiobrachialis. So these felt great, but I'm going to rotate between grip widths on chins and doing neutral grip. And then I'm going to do different types of straight bar curls to keep the biceps growing. I like to go with this because the biceps are limiting my chins. They're limiting my chins. But as you guys can see, a lot of this is just volume, volume, volume on big movements. It's to get thicker, it's to get a pump, it's to put muscle on. It's just for hypertrophy. And most of my training, even on conjugate's been hypertrophy geared. This is even a little more basic. Now I have the option with all of these bars and stuff I have to change things around. Now one of the perks I do have with a lot of these bodyweight movements, like I'm using a different grip point than I normally do. If you guys notice, I'm in further. It brings me in closer together, a little more tricep oriented. The beauty of the V-bar is that I can avoid overuse a little easier on some of these movements because I can just change the grip all the time, right? If I just grip it slightly different each time, it totally changes the angles. Same thing with all the chin-ups and pull-ups. I have that multi-grip attachment. I have 3 different neutral grips. Even if I just use that one, I have 2 different chin grips easily. So I can rotate through those to avoid overuse. Any of these other movements, I can just rotate bars. So I'm going to do a lot of close gripping, a lot of overhead pressing. But I have 15 barbells. I can rotate as many bars as I need to avoid overuse for the rep work while keeping specificity on the main lifts. The beauty of having this crazy of a home gym. And I think people are going to be shocked what they see me start doing with the deadlifting. You guys are going to be a little shocked. It's going to be outside of my norm, but again, I know how to program it because I'm used to programming different ways. Just because most of my clients run conjugate doesn't mean they all do. And I went with body weight dips today. I'm like, you know what? Let's just get in, see how they feel. These did not hurt at all. These were 100% pain-free on my arms. Beautiful. And by pulling in tight and being careful with the range of motion, they're easy on shoulders. I felt a tremendous amount of pec and tricep pump. And I did just 6 sets of 12. I thought about going even further, but I'm like, I better reel it in. I got a deadlift tomorrow. But this is what you're going to see. You're going to see me doing a lot of dips. You're going to see me doing a lot of pull-ups, a lot of chin-ups. Again, just to get the upper body thicker with these big exercises. And then I'm going to fill in with other big exercises to fill in the weak links. So after that, you'll see me doing some upright rows with a medium grip. You guys have seen me use these in the past. You've seen me use snatch grip high pulls. I deviated away from them for a while, but fitting with this type of programming, the upright row works great. So there's no actual rows for the back today, but again, five pretty much limit sets of chins, 4 of them weighted, 1 body weight. It's a lot of back work, right? I'm going to deadlift tomorrow. And there's going to be some volume deadlifting. My back grows, my lats grow from deadlifts, and there's data on that. So this handles the rest of the upper back, which again, upright row, combined with the press. We did 5 sets of 10 on both of these. The whole shoulder girdle and upper back got thoroughly worked here. Now, notice with this medium grip, I don't go in real close. Why? I don't quite do a close grip. I do a medium grip. Or you guys have seen me do wide grip. You see me do snatch grip. It's easier on the shoulders. This exercise gets counterindicated. Tons of experts are like, oh, it's dangerous, it's dangerous. Well, we could always do a snatch grip high pull and go up higher, but this exercise isn't that bad if you're careful of the range of motion, right? It's because people go too high on it, they impinge it, or they go way too high, elbows too high, gripping it too close. It can be hard on the shoulders. This is not. And it works all 3 heads of the delts, works the trap. And it's still a big exercise. Now, I'm not using much weight yet. I'll build this up. If I keep it in the rotation, I will need to progress on it and build it up. But again, it's still a big exercise, and it's a multi-joint exercise, works multiple muscle groups. So again, it works very much with this particular training style, and really I could almost call my version of this org mode again if I wanted. If anything, if I were to publish a program, something like this might be the best choice, and to call it org mode. But a lot of shoulder work here today. Then we finished off with these. The narrow grip, these were way too hard. I could almost not hold it. So I did axle bar curls, and even with 80 pounds, these are just brutal. They're just brutal. I had to go with a wider grip the last 2 sets, and I was going to do 5, but I'm like, I did all those chins. My biceps were destroyed from those chins. They were hurting. So 3 sets of this was good for today. I'd like to build it up to 5 or rotate it with the straight bar. But this gives me extra grip training, extra forearm work, in addition to being a great bicep exercise. And again, I need the direct bicep work a little bit, but I want it to be bigger movements like this. It needs to be a standing barbell curl or a slight cheek curl or axle bar curls. I need these bigger movements so that we get thicker overall. We're not standing around worried about trying to attempt to isolate a muscle. Everything needs to get me thick. And movements like this make you thick, but I do need the extra bicep work if I want the chin-ups and pull-ups to get stronger, which will affect my back and everything else. So again, using it to feed into it. But this is a great choice, again, if you're looking at this system, because it gives you so much forearm work. You're forced to cheat a little bit more almost just to deal with the axle bar. And again, it gets some extra upper back involvement. So this was my finisher for the day. So wait for deadlift days tomorrow, guys. Deadlift day will be fun. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.